Hi everyone, Angela from Serenity Dog Training here, and I wanted to start out National Train Your Dog Month with my answers to Gene Donaldson's Transparency in Dog Training Challenge. Probably maybe like 10-ish years ago, Gene had issued this challenge for dog trainers to be very transparent in their methodologies. In case you didn't know, Gene Donaldson is like the guru for getting us started on positive reinforcement training. Her and Karen Pryor both. They both basically wrote the book, so to speak. Gene's book, The Culture Clash, which I hope that is showing in the right direction for you because it's backwards for me, is just a phenomenal book, and she wrote it in the early 90s, I think it was. And it just kind of goes over how we're two different species. We communicate differently. So we're like two totally different cultures. So there's a lot of clashes that are communication related with our dogs. So, anyways, back to the Transparency in Dog Training Challenge. Jean proposes 3 questions be asked of a dog trainer when you are trying to decide if you want to hire them, if they're a good fit for you or not. And those 3 questions are what will happen to your dog if they get it right? What will happen to your dog if they get it wrong? And are there any less invasive slash aversive um, things, alternatives available to what's being proposed? So, question number 1 for me, what will happen if your dog gets it right? Well, your dog is going to get reinforced. They're going to get something that they value, be it food like chicken or cheese, or maybe they like milk bones, whatever, or a toy, a ball, a tug, or again, whatever the dog likes. And it could be a life reward, like go for a ride, go for a walk, or hey, you get to come sit up on the couch with me. Something that the dog is valuing in the moment that they would like to work for. They're going to earn it when they get something right. And what's going to happen to your dog when they get it wrong? Nothing. They're not going to get reinforced. They're not going to get that thing that they want. They are not going to get the paycheck. Kind of like if I didn't show up to my job, I wouldn't get paid. So, yeah, they learn by doing, and because dogs are super selfish and will always do what works for them, if they're not getting reinforced for something, they're not going to keep on doing it because it's not paying off. So, yeah, that's what happens when you're working with me and I'm working with a dog. When they get something wrong, basically nothing. They don't get reinforced, so they have to figure out a different way to earn that reinforcement because what they're currently doing isn't working. And are there any less invasive slash aversive alternatives to what's being proposed? That depends on each individual dog, because for each individual dog, what they determine is aversive or might be a little more invasive for them may not be the same as for some other dog. So, as an example, I've got one dog that you can pet him, you can put clothes on him, you can put any piece of equipment on him, and he's like, okay, yay. And then I've got a dog that's, she basically will say F you if you try and put certain harnesses on her because she does not like things touching her sides. It really, really bothers her and makes her feel uncomfortable. So we tend to work with her mainly in a collar because a collar is more comfortable to her. The harness she finds very, very aversive, very invasive and uncomfortable because it's touching her sides. So it's case by case. And yes, there's always going to be some way to work around what that dog's needs are as far as what they find invasive and aversive. And same with people. So if the people I'm working with are finding that it's too aversive with how information's being presented or how I may be asking them to practice something, yes, absolutely, I can find a different way. There's more than one way to learn something, there's more than one way to get things done, and I'm always going to seek the most positive, kind way for both the dog and the human that I'm working with. And that's that's my answers to the Transparency and Dog Training Challenge. And if you haven't read it yet, I absolutely recommend you check out Jean's book, The Culture Clash. It is so awesome. Jean Donaldson's The Culture Clash. Thanks.